doing? Come on. I'm Joe Cacace. Welcome to our kitchen.
Lui non parlamma, ma ci capimma, e coro nostro sanno tutta verità. Se ci sperdimma, noi ci trovamma, perché più forte desiderio ci incontrà. E ci leggimmo tinta all'occhio bene, si bocca se volessero, ma sa.
Here we go. Today we're going to show you one of our favorite recipes, meatballs a la Joe. You can't get away from enjoying them once they're made. You just ask my daughter Patty and her husband Terry. Here we go. First we'll start out with the best prime chuck to use. I use about 2 pounds of Turco's best prime chuck, and we put it in a big bowl. And we just loosen it a bit. Then we use some sweet Italian pork sausage. That's a combination that can't be beat. I know many people make it just with the beef, but I like to use some sweet Italian sausage. Again, Turco's comes along with some of the best in the county. What I usually do is buy it in sausage form and then remove it from the casing, and that will be enough to sometimes they sell this sausage meat loose, so you don't have to go through this part of it. But once you remove it from the casing, you're all set to combine it with the other ingredients. I think I'll use about 3/4 of a pound of the sausage to the 2 pounds of the chopped chuck. The next ingredient that I use are eggs. Now you may have used 4, 5, 6 eggs. I like to use 8, 9, 10 eggs. That's why they're not dry after they're cooked. Here we go. That's number 1. Number 2, I never did learn how to crack the eggs with one hand, but you still get the same result. The egg is out of the shell, and hopefully none of the shells are in your composition here. So that, are you keeping count? That was number 6 coming up. And 7, and 8. If, as I go along, I find that it's a little too dry, well, then I'll just add another egg. So as of now, we have the beef, the eggs, and the pork sausage. Now, the one ingredient that really gives it a flavor that can't be beat is your garlic. Now, you might ask, how much garlic should I use? I use a lot of garlic. My wife Diane says I use too much garlic. But once they're done, the flavor of the garlic cannot be beat. Now you might say, why not use the garlic powder? Yeah, use the garlic powder. I use both of them. You'll see. Here's the fresh garlic. Oh, the whole clove got in there by mistake. Can you smell the garlic? I bet you can. There's so much of it in here. Here we go. After the garlic is in, I use some Parmesan or other type of Italian cheese. 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and maybe a 3rd tablespoon. And you might say, gee, that's too much. But come on now, you want to really have them taste good at the end. Now, I don't have the specific quantities, but if you're jotting down any notes, remember, 2 pounds of the beef, 3/4 of a pound of the pork sausage, 3 tablespoons of the grated cheese, a lot of garlic, and then we have parsley to add. If you have the fresh parsley, that's the best of all, but I happen to have only the dried parsley today, and that's what we'll use. Keep mixing it, and as you can see, the eggs have made it quite wet in there. So what do we add to pick up some of that wetness? Is our breadcrumbs. Not too many breadcrumbs. You don't want them dry. Just enough to be able to mold the meatballs after all of this mixture is ready for shaping. Now some people do not like the next ingredient that I use, but my family does, and that ingredient is raisins. Now you might say, boy, that's a lot of raisins. Well, we like the flavor of it. We have some relatives that won't enjoy these meatballs because of the raisins, but the majority do. Now, did I leave out anything? Let's look around here. Ah, I know. Some salt and pepper. The pepper makes it a little spicy. And the salt, not too much salt, because we know that the less salt you eat, the better, right? But I'm still shaking here, but that's enough. Yeah. I think it's still wet, so I think I may have to add more breadcrumbs. Did I forget anything? I don't remember right now, but I think this is it. Yeah? Oh, I know what I mentioned before. I said that some people use just garlic powder, so let's put some garlic powder in too. Here we go. I bet you want to taste one of these meatballs when they're done. Well, you have to come visit us. You have our address. Just say you're coming, and I assure you, our freezer usually has a container of about half a dozen to a dozen meatballs to be put to immediate use. What I think I'll do now is set this aside for a while and go on to another recipe that we want to talk about. And that will be our marinara sauce for the linguine. That is usually a hit. So for now, I will set this aside and come back to this when we have to shape them and fry them. How do you say? You think that's a good idea? I think so. Because, you know, after a while, my wrist gets tired of doing this. If Patty was here, she'd be doing it. She loves to help out. She's a good cook herself, you know. Diane likes to eat the results. I think I need just a little more breadcrumbs, and then we're all set. Because maybe the eggs that I used might have been a little too large for the number that I did use, but I would say from this mixture now we should get a good 2 dozen good-sized meatballs. When I was a youngster, we really had to delve into this mixture, and we used our hands, but I think, even though I wash my hands at the beginning of any cooking that I do, I'd rather not and just use a spoon. How's that look? You know what you could do too? If you're tired of making meatballs, just use the same mixture and make yourself a meatloaf, which will slice beautifully, and it could be your main meal with a few vegetables. Okay, I will set this aside now, and we'll get back to our garlic chopping, because that's going to be your main ingredient for your marinara sauce.